just equal to get the largest num. From largest, count will count for each step by one. Then we will print finally the largest number as largest. Largest.h file, we define int to get the largest from integer number and integer largest. Here this is will left be empty. Once we run the code, we will get this one. Enter number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 4, 3. The largest number is 7. Or this code, we have sorry, what is this? Inside the main.cpp file, we included the fast string and also header.h and also the table.h. In this code, we need 5 files for doing this code. This code is an example of generating a tubular output and writing the output to a file. Inside the main, we will print the expression of the code description and also the print header and print the table, and we return 0. Inside the header.h, we have the void print header.cpp file. We created the void print header function, and f3 header file is header.text as it is. Header will be string, and also we will get the line of header file and header. Cout, we will print the header and header file dot close. This is for calling. Table.h file is we created the void print table function, and table.cpp we call the table.h file, this one, inside the cpp table.cpp file. We created the void print table function int I equals 1, and offstream my file dot open. We will open the file to read output to text, while I is less than or equal to 10. We will print I slash or space I multiplied by I space I multiplied by I multiplied by I. My file will be I space I multiplied by I space I multiplied by I multiplied by I. Then we will call the function. I already run this code. This is the output. We find the 2 largest numbers out of 10 user inputs, and the outputs them to the console. So we will ask the client to enter 20 digits or integers. Then we will determine the largest 2 numbers. From main, we call the largest.h file. Inside the main, we defined 2 largest numbers as integers. Here, this is the description of the code and the input numbers. Find the largest in 1, and the largest 2, and finally we will print the largest number as the largest 1. It's number 1. The second largest number is the largest second number. So we will return 0 here. in the largest.h file, we set a function void input numbers, void find largest. Function is for finding the largest numbers. We define them as integers here, largest one and largest two. In this one, largest.cpp file, we included the largest.h file. This is function for the input numbers. First, we have to set the num as integer, so which is the numbers that the client is entering. Largest will begin from 0 and second largest will begin from 0. We will use for loop for reading the enter numbers. Int I equals 1 and I is less than 10. This we're making the loop 10 times, and the I will keep going by 1. We will enter the number. We ask the user to enter a number, and we will save it as I. Then we will we have the if statement here. We will start in if number is less than largest, so the second largest is equal to the largest, and the largest is equal to the number. Else if number is less than the second largest, greater than the second largest, and this number is greater than largest, the second largest is equal to none, and we will close the parentheses. This function for finding the largest, we set it as integer largest 1 and integer largest 2, as we did it in here. Then int num largest, the same thing for this one, for the second largest number. Then largest 1 is equal to largest, and largest 2 is equal to the second largest. As you can see in here, we run the code. We entered 20 times, and it says the largest number is 55, the second largest number is 9 from all that numbers. Validate the user to input by only accepting values of 1 or 2. We just ask him if you want this student, for example, to pass, press 1, and if you want this student to fail, press 2. We started like this. We included validation.h file. Inside the main, we have result as integer, and we did all this. This will be output. So this will be printed out there. So the validate input, we put inside the result. If the result is equal 1, means if result equal 1, print pass, else fail. We can use also the case statement. Here we have function void validate input integer input, so the input will be integer. Inside the validation.cpp file, we included the limits, included validation.h file, and of course iostream, and we have the using namespace that's std. Here we have the function of void, the void validated. Now input is so the input, we defined it as an integer. We have while loop here, while true. The input, we saved it as an input. If input equals 1 or input equals 2, break. Else print invalid input, enter 1 for pass or 2 for fail again. And we will keep it as clear. Then saying ignore, this message will appear if that's all. valid. Ignore numeric limits, stream size, and the maximum. That's it. Once we run the code, we will enter, for example, 1 for pass, 2 for fail. Checkerboard pattern of asterisks using nested loops. We print the checkerboard here and we return 0. This is all inside the main. Of course, we will call the checkerboard.h file and iStream, and we wrote using namespace std checkerboard.h. We have a function here, void print checkerboard. That's it. That's all in this file. Everything will be explaining in here. We will include the checkerboard.h file, and inside the function here we have for loop. Intro equals 1, row less or equal 8, row will be going up by 1. Inside this for loop we have another for loop for the columns. For int column, call equals 1, call less than 8, and call will be going up by 1. If the row plus column divided by 2, or this one for present mark for the it means if the row plus column, so the result of the sum of them acceptable of dividing 2 by 2, see out this mark, the star, else print out like this space, and then we will close the parentheses and we see out the end of. We will run the code. This is our output, the checkerboard. I like it. We will print the lyrics of the 12 Days of Christmas song. In our Christmas.cpp file,